KILR Killer Game.
Hello, gamers, simmers, and pilots. I am the Killer Gamer, and welcome to the tour around the world featuring Microsoft Flight Simulator 2, or 2.13, which is kind of like what I'm using. But we'll just say 2. You know, when you're rounding something off, we kind of round down 2. Anyway, what are we doing? Where are we? What's going on? I don't know. Maybe I should. Maybe I should know what's going on. Well, I kind of do. We'll just pull up this map. Okay, so let me just highlight that whole thing there for you. So right here is where we're at. Waterloo Municipal. We're going to go to another Muni. We're going right here to Dubuque. Dubuque. And what I've done on the other simulators is leave Waterloo on this 90 radio here, and then come south on the 180 of this. We do have some winds. I entered in some winds, which I have right here. So I took a screenshot of this, and for the clouds, as you can see, there is, let me get the highlighter here. So like clouds is a few, clouds broken sky. Well, you know, and this old flight simulator, it's either all or nothing. I still kept it about an altitude of 5,000 because I'm not going to do 900 feet above aerodrome level, no, or even 1,400 feet, because I don't want to see nothing but gray. So, although there may not be anything else to see, it might just be green. But anyway, that's what we have there. Can't really set anything else as far as temperature or sea pressure, but this right here, the wind, is what I set here. So we got wind at 330 degrees. That's not like temperature. So 330 direction, speed at 6 knots. That's what I set. What does that mean in terms of our flight here? Technically, from what I understand, I could be wrong, but you're supposed to be flying into the wind. If it's from 330 or 330, I believe it's going this direction, right? So we're going to want to come down the opposite direction. So we're going to want to take, what, I don't know, what is that? 140? Yeah. And I mean, it's right there. So yeah, the 140 radio I think will be fine. I think we should be okay as far as the flight planning is concerned. And with that, it's time to get our radios all set up here. So let's see. Nav. We're going to change nav 2 to 112.2. There we go. VOR 2, we're going to change that to 090. All set there. And then nav 1 is going to be Dubuque, which is 115.8. I'm pretty sure that's the nav. It's not coming up at the moment, but hopefully it will. I'm looking at the map very carefully. And let's see, for 1, we said we're going to change that to 140. Okay. We're all set to go, I think. Let's see, adjust my altitude. We're good there. Synchronize the gyro compass. And the comm radio. Let's see what the ATIS is going to be. Okay, well. What is the idiot? What's the idiot radio? 120.6. Isn't that what I had? Wait, I'm closing everything. What's up here? What am I doing? I don't know. I'm all over the place. There it goes. We got some weird stuff happening up here. Measured ceiling 4900, overcast, visibility 10. Temperature 57, wind 330, see, at 6. Landing and departing runway 24. You have Gulf. Gulf! Yep, that's what I say. Bloop. Time to turn on the engine. M2, M3, M4, M5. And by the way, I figured out that M0 actually leans it. Runway 24. We're facing 159. So that would mean runway 24 is, I believe, the one over to the left. That looks about right. So we will head in that direction. Now, when I went into the settings and changed the wind, it automatically refueled me. It just does that. Kind of one thing that's a little bit annoying. You know, you want to add some clouds and stuff, and, you know, you're trying to get some realism with your fuel, and, well, it completely resets it. Like, no, I don't want that. And then it moves your plane, and you got to move it back. Is this a taxiway? If it is, it's big. If it is, it's big. I may have missed the taxiway. Let's see. Nah, it's just one big area. I don't know if it's accurate. Let's see. Is this runway 24? It's runway 30. That's close enough, right? I don't know. Should we be a good pilot and actually fly off? No. No! Who's going to say anything, right? Is Control Tower going to yell at us? No, they're not. So let's just do what we want. We're going to take off here. Whoa. Where are we at? What was happening there? I don't know. Let's stay on the runway. Stay on the runway. And we should be rotating our way up. Yay! We're airborne. We are flying. And we can say goodbye. Goodbye, Waterloo. It's time for greener pastures. I mean, just look. It's green. It is definitely greener. Oh, yeah. La la la. And that there is the city of Waterloo. And what in the world is that? I have no idea. I can't even zoom into it. What, did it just disappear? Maybe it disappeared. I don't see it now, do you? It was a glitch. So yeah, we're flying over the Cedar River. I'm just looking back here just to be sure. For a moment I thought it might have been the fuel box. I've seen some airports with the fuel boxes like a little ways from the airport. Try to catch that 90 radio there. Kind of seems like we're heading off in an odd direction. No, I think we were going a very different direction. There's the airport. .090 is off in this direction. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Everything looks weird. Hey, I know what. Let's follow this white line. I bet that goes to Dubuque. Oh, the landing gear's still down. Might help if I put that up. It's like wondering why my speed was a little lower than it should have been. Turning down the throttle. Trying to get ourselves leveled off at 4,000. There's the airport. I am going to check airnav.com for Dubuque. KDBQ 115.8. Well, that's correct. So I guess we're just not close enough. If memory serves, this was a little bit of a long flight. If I remember from the other videos of the simulators I did. Some of you may be thinking, man, Killer Gamer, how is it that you can sit here and stare at these graphics for so long? I will be honest with you when I say that it's tiring on the eyes. But it brings back memories, at least to the Commodore 64 for me. Both the SubLogic one and this one are very close to the same. I should take a nap. And Nav 1 has now got our DME. It's at 67.9 miles, 8 miles. So we got a little ways to go. It's funny, after you... See, I don't think the sound was meant to be heard through headphones. Well, once you turn it down or turn it off, it's kind of like your ears are kind of like ringing a little bit. Adjusting our speed. Adjust my trim some too. Man, 63.2 miles. I think we got a long way to go here. Not as long as some of the flights that I've done, but yeah, this one's gonna take a bit. Oh my goodness, 62.5 miles. What in the world do we talk about? Well, we can talk about, for example, what I use to create the music that is on my channel for the cinematic videos. Now, some of the very first cinematics that I did were on FSX, and there were some one-off videos that I did, such as flying to Rattlesnake Island. There was one that was going from, was it Columbus? Yeah, I think it was Columbus, Ohio to I think it was Des Moines, Iowa, or something like that. And then the first two episodes of North to South America, the North to South America tour, all those I used royalty-free music and royalty-free music. In other words, it didn't cost anything. And in the description of those are is like what the songs are and like where they came from. But after that, so episode 3 of North to South America and the 3 episodes so far of the Flight Simulator 4 Adventures is all music that I composed using sound loops with, okay, not this specifically, but with Magic's Music Maker. So the more, oh yeah, and the one X-Plane video I did, the Sedona Vacation. So those, the more later simulators like FSX, Prepared. There's the one video I did of Prepared for the Hurricane Dorian, and X-Plane. Those are used in the more modern Magic's Music Maker 2019 to be more specific, and more modern loops. But the Flight Simulator 4 Adventures makes use of an older version of Magic's Music Maker 3.0 to give it more of a retro type of sound. That's what I was going for on those. And I also have this, which is version 2.0, and I have yet to go in and actually hear the tracks on this. So I figure, hey, you know, we got 57 miles to fly. Why not check it out? At the moment, I'm going to check our OBS for number 2. Like I was saying, I believe this line this this highway here, interstate, is taking us to Dubuque. But let's do a little bit of adjusting our course. I want to adjust the VOR and see if I can get that needle to move and see exactly where that needle is. Okay, we passed it. So we're going to change our heading then. We don't have to change it too much. And it doesn't look like we're very far off from it either. Oh, maybe we are. Maybe we are. Oh. Maybe it was the other way. What did I do? Did I go up? Yep, that's what I did. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So we should be heading 106. But that is correct. The needle is over to the left. And we are currently flying to the left of 090. I think that thing is moving. It's getting close. Okay. Well, we know where it's at. We know what heading we're flying. So let's go ahead and see if I can get this. There we go. So an external drive that I have. You know, until I can get my i7 computer back up and running, that I've got external CD drives. Right now I'm on a backup system. A backup i5. Okay, so like I was saying, this has got sound loops. There's sound loops that you put together and you turn it into a song. So there's not a whole lot on here, not compared to like 3.0. And then everything for 2019, for the Magix Music Maker 2019, that's all downloadable content. Yes, DLC, it costs money, but understandably. Okay, so let me open this up. Here are some bass tracks. That's it. So you use these loops, and you repeat them. And if we continue here, you know, they're different octaves, so you can you know, move them up and down. Let's try another one. Okay, so a little bit different there. I'm actually hearing these for the first time. Okay, I'm going to turn this on repeat here. See, I'm changing the octave there. There's a slight pause there as it repeats it because, well, you know, I'm playing that from Windows Media Player. But obviously I would be using the Magix Music Maker program and it would smooth things out. Okay, so that is all the bass ones. And this is for 100 beats per minute. And now, here are the drum beats. And you can mix and match these. And also take, you know, 2 or 3 and mix them together and make it sound like you've got a drummer that's just like going to town. So with this 2.0, really old version of Magix Music Maker, I would use these sounds for the Flight Simulator 4 Adventures. I haven't used them yet. These are fills. So you're hearing, oh hey, our OBS2 is moving. You're hearing the beginnings of possible or future, you know, music that I'll be writing for Flight Simulator 4. That's an FX ending. I'm skipping over a little bit here because there's a lot of loops. These are like rock loops. Okay, so I think you're getting the idea there. Let's move back and listen to some guitar loops. Some of these sound like the 3.0 loops. I wonder if they recycled some. Yeah, like that sounds familiar too. Yeah, that one definitely does. That one's hard to hear. There's quite a bit of guitar loops on here. There's more guitar loops than there are drum beats. Of course, this includes different octaves, so there's not really octaves on drum beats. A little bit of heavy metal going on there. Kind of like that sound. Ooh, we got a river coming up there. I wonder if that's the Mississippi. As we fly through the countryside. No, I don't do any singing on these. I spare you guys of that lack of talent. I like that one. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, it's like, we've landed! Dun, 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 dun. Alright, pause that there. And then the last one is keyboard. So here are the keyboards. Yeah, some of these definitely were recycled into 3.0. Guess I shouldn't be surprised, you know? They just, you know, they recycled them and then added more. And of course, within the program, you can change these so that way there are different beats per minute. I almost said beats per moment. So you can slow them down, you can speed them up. So that way, you got beats that are, you know, matching as far, you know, so you don't have like a fast one and a slow one, you know, and it's all out of sync. Some loops don't work very well together, and some do work really together. So it's not like you can just kind of throw them together and everything is good. Okay, so the other one here is 140 beats per minute, and this one's got bass drum, keyboards, and piano, but also percussion. How much percussion does it have here? Now, not a whole lot, but... So, you know, some of it. Here are the piano ones. How about the keyboards? Just some background stuff. I like that one. And that is the Mississippi River up there. Yep, I like that one. But these I don't recognize. I don't recognize these from 3.0. Ooh, I like that sound. Let's see. Do they have any samples on here? Looks like there's some WAV files.
Magic's Music Studio is the ultimate in sound processing for every multimedia PC with a 16... Hello, and welcome to Magic's Music World. A click on one of the highlighted fields opens another feature of the Music Maker CD.
Hey, you know, a little bit of advertisement.
Leads you to the installation.
Oh. You can tell this is for an old operating system.
The Pop, Rock, and Natural Element CD-ROM for Magic's Wave Sound tool offers you 450 megabytes of the finest sound loops anywhere. With these incredible loops for Magic's, making music is even more fun.
I have that. So the sound loops date back to 2.0? I didn't know that. I thought they were around the time of 3.0 because on the back of the 3.0 it shows all the different sound loops.
Magic's Music Painter is music software for children and grown-ups to create their own music.
With the House and Techno CD-ROM for Magic's Wave Sound Pool, you get 450 megabytes of looped soundtracks. Many of the loops are from Ogden House Entertainment in California.
They're referring to these. These are the... Well, here's my Magic's Music Maker 3.0 right here. But, like, you know, here's House and Techno, you know, soul, R&B, and funk, jungle, trip-hop, and ambient. There's a rock volume 1 and 2.
You get 450 megabytes of looped soundtracks. Many of the loops are from Ogden House Entertainment.
See, and I thought those didn't come out until after 3.0. Apparently they came out after, you know, around 2.0, so that's really cool. Let's see, ambient here. What is this, a sample of it?
Hello, and welcome to Magic's Music.
Oh, well, we heard that already. Ooh, sounds like our engine was cutting out, which could be a bad thing. AVI. Oh, those are going to be videos.
The bass is a vital factor for the sound of a band. A bass player needs to have good timing and a good rhythmical feeling so that the music has
What
a
is
steady
this guy
foundation.
wearing?
You can hear that if you combine a bass and a drum loop in the music. That will almost sound like a whole band.
He's like bouncing his head that way. These are
The bass
videos.
and the drums are the basics of each rock song.
And he's...
That is why it is
This
so
is what he's
important
doing
to
when he's
play a solid groove in the
talking.
arrangement. Check out this groove. Too many notes or a complicated rhythm can ruin the groove. It's just like building a house. You've got to use the right material. In other words,
I'm going to turn this up
don't
here,
learn a thing
or
if it ain't
show
got
it.
that swing, doo-wop, 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 doo-wop. When you compose a song, listen to your own ears. Don't shake the foundation too much, or it'll result in chaos. Check this out.
Let me move it back
Drums
here.
are the basics of each rock song. That is why it is so important to play a solid groove in the arrangement. Check out this groove.
Check out this groove. So... some interesting stuff there for you. Okay, cool. Well, all I need to do now is just copy those loops off of the CD-ROM, throw them on my hard drive, and I can start making some new music New old music. There we go. That's what it is. Yeah, so I was right. That freeway there is taking us to Dubuque. And that is the Mississippi. So next time around we'll be doing some VFR flying. And we will fly along the Mississippi. We're getting close to 090 now. Well, that was a little bit of fun. We had kind of messed around a little bit with the Magix Music Maker sound loops. I just, I thought they were after 3.0 because of the logo. The logo matches 3.0, whereas the 2.0 logo, is tilted, italicized, or whatever. These are the type of flight simulator videos you're not going to find anywhere else. Me kind of just going through saying, hey man, check this out. And some of the other ones have been like reading the flight manual. I've got this other book here in regards to why do cowboys wear high heels, which has just got some interesting facts around the world. Talking about new, I don't want to say expansions, that's not the right word, but new content, or some old content that I've recently purchased for some of the old simulators. Okay, I was wrong. It's not all just green. It wasn't all green on the way here. We did have some VFR scenery, well, in the form of a white line, but it's still VFR. We could have followed that freeway, interstate, to Dubuque. Dubuque is going to be right over here. Remember, we're going to be flying north of the airport. Alright, we're at 090 now. Let's go ahead and turn. Don't have to turn too much. I'll use my rudder to move the rest of the way here. And if it's not 090, that's okay. That was just a general idea of getting us north of the airport. In the general area north of the airport, which we are. Find the flight simulator map. Well, that's not it. Oh, that was the stuff for the Amiga flight simulator. And we can take a look out to the left. The Mississippi River is getting a little bigger, and there's nothing that way. You know, I mean, the graphics are old. Obviously, they're ancient, but it's just kind of, I don't know, to me, it's kind of cool to see it, you know, turn from lines into, you know, more bigger shapes. It's, you know, you're using your imagination. And so it's just, I don't know, I think it's kind of neat. Of course, you know, I'm going to like the modern simulators just like anybody else. But these old ones bring back some fun memories. So like with the Commodore 64 version, I had all the scenery discs except for scenery discs 8, 10, and 12, because they weren't made for the Commodore 64. 8 and 10 wasn't made for any of the platforms, and 12 was at least made for the PC and the Amiga. But even then, I was able to make a cross-country flight from the West Coast to the East Coast and back. Certain areas weren't covered, like around the Louisiana, New Orleans area, and up in the Montana, Wisconsin area. Those were not covered. Let's see, Montana, Idaho, you know, in those areas there. Carolinas. And it's so annoying. I wish they had made them, because we would have had some pretty cool flights. I think Vord number 1 is moving. Yes, it is. We don't see the airport yet, but we're going to be turning here to match that. Major interstate crossing the Mississippi River there. Do some turning here. Kind of wondering if the airport is at this little notch thing here, or it's a broken interstate. Yeah, no, this part's under construction. We don't have that done yet. Leave that. Oh, you know what? I think the Mississippi River is going in. Yeah, that's what it's doing. Well, no, it's going around, but you can see there is, our airport's over here, and this gray area is Dubuque. Let's see, check that out. It's really cool. We're at 13 miles, and we'll be making our descent at 10 miles. That's generally what I've always done, is make a descent at 10 miles. At least, you know, on the older ones. On the newer ones that's got air traffic control, I, you know, just go with whatever ATC is telling me. You know, when it comes to music, I don't listen to a lot of, you know, regular music anymore. You know, I used to listen to like Pandora and Spotify. I used to have my own internet radio station. No, it wasn't like a major one, you know, it was Live 365, and it used to play a huge variety of music. But now, I just tend to listen to the music that I create now. I've also got a whole bunch of video game music and video game inspired music. When I say video game inspired, I'm talking about things like music about video games or something related to video games, in addition to stuff that's in video games. And I'll listen to that. And I had a station called KILR Games, just like the logo that pops up, you know, before these videos. Oh, we're at 9.4 miles. Time to make our descent here. Landing gear down. Get 1 degree of flaps. Use a little bit of elevator trim. Use the rudder, move over to the right a little bit. Maybe we need to move over to the right a little bit more. We're just about, I mean, we're like, it's at 140 on the, I remember I was guesstimating on that airport, or the runway, which actually I think that's the runway right there. So let's go ahead and kind of turn this way to meet up with it. Now, if memory serves, the altitude on Dubuque is a little bit higher than the other ones that we've been to. Dubuque. Yeah, this one's at 1,007.6. So we're going to want to keep that in mind with the altimeter here. So like we're at 3,000 feet, so it's only 2,000 feet above. So I'm going to add a little bit of throttle here. Do a little bit of up, elevator trim. Some more throttle here. 5.5 miles. We're almost there. Got to keep in mind there is a wind that we are flying in. So we're going to get a little bit of push. Man, once we were listening to the sound loops for Magic's Music Maker, it made the time go by a little bit more quicker. I'm like sitting here, I'm like, what are we going to talk about? I don't know. You can see the runway beginning to take shape there. Now we're on this side of the runway. Double check my gauges, make sure I'm not going too slow. Make sure my landing gear is down. Use our rudder. Make some fine-tuned turning adjustments here. Whoops. That would be the landing gear. We were looking straight down in case you were wondering what that was. Two miles. I think the wind is blowing us slightly off course here. Trying to get us over here so that way we can and bring our speed down. And down a little bit more. There's the fuel. Nice little green F. Oh my goodness. Alright, cutting down power. That's a little bit beyond the threshold of the the landing spot of the runway. There we go. Cut power. Apply our brakes. Yay! Flaps are up. And now, we go ahead and make our way over to the fuel box. And pretend that there are taxiways here. Okay, where was that fuel box? Oh, there it is. Okay. There you are. quite the side we want to go on here. And bring this to a stop. And we're filled up. Yay! Now we just go ahead and lean the engine. We can do that with M0. And you can see the mags right down here in this area. It says LN for lean. And I'm turning them off now. It's interesting that option was there, but I never quite used it, you know, back in the day. It's like, why? What does that all mean? You know, I just turned it off. You know, just kind of like taking keys to a car and turning it off. Anyway, we're here at Dubuque, and a little bit of a long flight, but you know, we were able to, I think, keep ourselves a little bit entertained with the Magic's Music Maker 2.0, very old. In case you're skipping to the end or something, shame on you. But this is copyright 1999. Copyright 1999. Huh. Well, Magic's Music Maker 3 was before that. This must be like a republish or something. Do they mean 89? That seems a little much later than... That seems much later than stuff. But anyway, yeah, so we kind of went through that and listened to some loops and just had a bit of a good time. So anyway, if you like this video, thumbs up and subscribe, be a part of the KILR community, and ring that notification bell so that way you'll know when a new video is uploaded to the channel. And other than that, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you on the next leg of our journey.